Hey guys, this is Neal, the Heart of Texas Armory again, and today I've got another handgun review for you, and this is going to be on the Taurus PT111 or 111 G2, chambered in 9mm. And I really love this gun. This one here is one of my personal carry pieces, and I've had it for about a year, and I've put well over 1,000 rounds to it at this point. Never had a failure, and I'm ready to give my opinion and review on this product. And just to keep it short and sweet, I'll say that it is an awesome handgun for the money. They're very reliable, very comfortable to shoot, ergonomic. This thing is a winner, guys. You know, Taurus gets a bad name, but whatever they did on this gun, it is excellent. You know, regardless of any of their other guns that have had problems in the past, this Millennium G2, that PT111 G2, is an awesome handgun. And the best thing about these guys is the price. These you can buy all day for under $250. For instance, at my shop here, Heart of Texas Armory, I can sell them right now, you know, October 2017 for right around $200. Awesome deal. Amazing quality for the money. If you want one of these, contact me. You can send me an email. It's Neal, N-E-A-L, at heartoftexasarmory.com, or just go to my website, heartoftexasarmory.com. You can contact me on there, and I'll let you know the price for one of these. You know, like I mentioned, right now it's October 2017, and they're right around $200. You know, maybe they might go up or down a few bucks, so it'd be worthwhile to contact me to see what they're going for. But so let's go ahead and drop the magazine out of here, because I do got rounds. I don't believe there's anything in the chamber. We'll double check. Nope, there's nothing in there. We're safe, and we'll go ahead and fire the striker. Check one more time. We're completely safe, guys. No magazines in the weapon. All right, so what do you get with this? You get a striker-fired weapon, which is awesome. So a lot of the budget guns in this price range are going to be hammer-fired, or just, you know, with really poor triggers, by the way. This is going to be striker-fired, so you're going to get that striker-fire consistency. Now, the trigger here, it's actually pretty light. I don't have a trigger gauge on me right now, but I would guess between 4 and 6 pounds, maybe 5.5, 6 pounds. Which is not bad. That's typical for a carry piece. And I will mention there is quite a bit of take up. So look at this trigger, which you do have that little Glock style dingus here, where, you know, you have to depress this little deal. I mean, everybody knows this, but I'll just go ahead and explain just in case there's anyone out there who don't know how these work. All that is a safety. So if you don't depress it, you pull the trigger back, it's not going to fire. So that's like for drop safe. If you drop this thing down really hard on the ground, you slam it down, that spring hopefully is not going to be depressed, and if the trigger bounced back, it's not going to fire, because you got to overcome that too. So once you depress that, you go to a wall. You know, like I said, it's got quite a bit of travel. You can see right there. I don't know the actual measurement of that travel, but it's a lot. Not the end of the world, because this is a concealed handgun piece, which you're going to use as close range. So this is not a match grade trigger, but it's, you know, you got that take up, you hit a wall, and once you hit the wall though, it's actually a really good trigger in my opinion. It's consistent and crisp. Kind of, I mean, it feels just like a Glock trigger. Everybody knows what that feels like. Comparable with that. I will mention on that trigger, you have restrike capability, and what that means is on a normal gun, on a normal striker gun, excuse me, and most other guns, you have to, like for instance, when you drop that striker, normally you have to, you know, operate the slide, which is going to knock back that striker and get it back into position, and it's going to catch on the sear again, and then you fire, right? That's typical operation. You have to operate the slide to have it reset the trigger. Well, this one has that restrike capability, and what that does is you don't actually have to rack the slide to reset the trigger. So say you're firing and, you know, it drops the striker, it hits the primer on the round, but it doesn't set it off, whether that's a light primer strike or maybe the primer's just extra hard for whatever reason. Instead of racking that round out, you can actually just release the trigger all the way, and now, you hear that? It's firing the striker without even operating the slide. So that's a really cool feature. I mean, like, I've never had actually used that yet, that feature, but it's cool it's there. I like that. Some other cool things about this, you've got a safety here, which, you know, some people may not want that, but it is on here. It's low profile, so it's not going to be turned on by accident. I will say that it's a little loose, as in loose meaning easy to actuate. I wish it was a little harder to flip that, but as long as you're trained and you know that, you train yourself that this is a safety, if you have it on, you're carrying it with the safety on, they sweep down, it's going to be fine for you. And of course, down is fire. You can see the little red dot there that lets you know that it's in the fire. Up would be safe. So, you can see the trigger's not going to fire now. Put it back on down, it fires. Some other things worth noting on this. Excellent stippling. In fact, really good stippling. It's a very aggressive. Feels wonderful in your hand. Actually, the whole pistol feels wonderful. Very ergonomic, comfortable to hold. But in particular, that stippling is really aggressive, and I like that. I have calluses on my hand. So it's some of y'all, maybe you don't have as many calluses. It's going to tear up your hand, but to me, man, this stuff is awesome. It grips in your hand, just holds it right there solidly, and feels good. So you got stippling on the front here, on the side, and then a little bit on the back strap. I wish they would have stippled probably the trigger guard here, but I'll probably do that on my own, just like I did. I'll compare these pistols in a minute, but let me show you this Smith & Wesson here that I stippled there underneath the trigger guard. Size-wise, it's a perfect size for concealed handgun use. It's slightly smaller actually than the Glock 19, but it's not sub compact, so it's still a double stack magazine. So you carry 12 plus 1, so 12 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber, so 13 total rounds. For this size, that's a really good round count for this size. What's some other things we want to mention about this? Your sights, they're actually pretty good. This is just your standard Taurus factory sights. I think you can get night sights and stuff. There's the look at the front and back. But you can get night sights for them, replacement sights if you want to upgrade them. But I've never decided to do that. I shoot just fine with those 3-dot sights, and they work for me. The finishing on this is actually really good. You can see the polymer looks really good. The slide looks good. The machining, there's no machining marks. Your barrel is going to be a 3.2 inch stainless steel barrel, and it's also well done. Actually, with this is very accurate. I mean, I don't really see a difference between this one and my Smith & Wesson that I normally carry. So let me just bring out that Smith & Wesson real quick and let y'all kind of see size comparison between the two. They're very similar in size. Again, this is a Smith & Wesson 9C. This is my Taurus G2. I carry both of these weapons. This one is my main carry, and this one is, in fact, it's a little smaller than the Smith & Wesson, at least on width. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's thinner, and I don't actually have the measurements in front of me. I'll probably put those in the description. But the Smith & Wesson is a little more chunky, a little more blocky. I've had this gun longer, so I shoot this one the best out of really any concealed handgun that I own. But I do carry this one on occasionally, like I mentioned, mainly when I want something a little thinner. But size-wise, it's very, very close to the Smith & Wesson 9C, if you are familiar with that. Also, like I said, it's a little smaller than the Glock 19. Not, obviously not as small as the 26, which is the baby Glock, but kind of right in between them, which is a really good size. I mean, that's pretty much perfect size for concealed carry. Plus, you do get that double stack magazine. You get 12 rounds. Disassembly is just like any, Glock or modern striker fire. It's really simple. So you just want to, obviously make sure your chamber's empty, no magazine in the weapon. All you need to do is just pull back your slide just a little bit. And this is how I do it. I grip it like this. And then there's 2 little latches on each side. There's the other one there. You just pull the slide back a little bit, pull those down. You can let go now as long as you hold down those latches and pull the trigger. And there goes your slide right off. Y'all have seen this 100 times. Here's the internals on the Taurus here on the frame. So you can see how the trigger mechanism works, the transfer bar, the sear. Very simple, very similar to a Glock. Very, very similar. So, and also, taking out the barrels, very similar. So you got a captured recoil spring, steel guide rod, which is nice. There's your barrel, your 3.2 inch stainless steel barrel, high quality barrel. You can see the rifling there. Nicely polished feed ramp. And to put it back in, it's obviously just in reverse, really simple. That goes back in there. Put your recoil spring back in. I'm going to make sure that it's on there right, which is right there. And then line up your rails here. And what do we, there we go, back together. So very simple. And then function test, of course, firing, go back on safe, drop it, fire. So we're good to go. But overall, man, I mean, for the money, like I said, that's the main thing with these. You know, I know I do a lot of budget reviews, but to me, that's what I like, man. I don't like spending a whole bunch of money if I don't need to. So this is an excellent handgun. In fact, I would rate it just as good as my Smith & Wesson, which I've paid closer to $400 for. This one is around $200. Is this twice as good? No, it isn't. It's, to me, these are interchangeable in quality, performance, reliability, everything. So, you know, if you want to spend more money, you obviously can. There's plenty of options out there. Glock, Smith & Wessons, you know, Springfields. I mean, you name it. You've got a lot of options. But in this price point, right around $200, this is, in my opinion, the best concealed handgun you can buy right now as of October 2017, in my opinion. Again, you know, your mileage may vary. Maybe you shoot something better. But for me, this is the best one right now in that price point. Another one that I really like is the Sky. I think it's a CPX 1 and 2, which is a 9mm, compact 9mm. But that one is a hammer-fired weapon, whereas this is striker-fired, and I usually prefer striker-fired on my carry pieces. I like hammer-fired weapons too, but I'm just used to carrying a striker-fired weapon. That's what I'm comfortable with. But like I mentioned, this thing is just an incredible value, guys. If you want one, let me know. I'll give you a really good price on them. I've had no failures with this, well over 1,000 rounds. It's accurate, it's reliable, low bore axis, so your recoils management's nice, the finishing's good. Warranty, I'll mention that too. So Taurus gives you a lifetime warranty with these. So if anything ever goes wrong with it, you know, Taurus will take care of you. However, I will make note that I've heard stories and seen plenty of things online about people having nightmares, you know, situations with the customer service. In the end, Taurus always takes care of them, but, you know, say something went wrong with this pistol and you can't figure it out and you want to ship it to them, the process might take you a number of months versus some other companies might just be weeks. That's just something you need to be aware of, is that the Taurus customer service is notoriously slow. That's just part of it. But so far, I haven't had any issues with this, and I don't foresee myself having any issues with this. So it hasn't been a problem for me. But I wanted to make note that the customer service, Taurus, y'all need to improve your customer service. I mean, this is an excellent product. I know y'all warranty it, but you got to improve that, because that is pretty much the only negative with this gun. Other than that, guys, really impressed with this, as you can probably tell from this review. I'm gonna hold on to this thing. I mean, I bought this as a test, you know, about a year and a half ago or whatever, but it's gone into my rotation. I carry it regularly. It's an excellent handgun. I definitely wholeheartedly recommend it. So if you got any questions or comments on this that I didn't answer in the video, just leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. And contact me if you want one. Y'all take care. Hey guys, anyone that stuck around the end of this video, I also wanted to show you the manual in the box for this weapon. I forgot to do that on the original video when I recorded it. So your box is just going to be a standard Taurus handgun box, cardboard box, nothing special, but it gets the job done. You get all the, you get, what is this, a lock? I forgot to mention that this thing does, I've never used it. Apparently it may have a frame lock. Yes, it does. I think it's right there. So that's worth noting. You can securely lock this weapon to disable it by using this little supplied key. I've never used it, but it's in there. What do we got here? Here's your probably warranty card and some other information on how to return it to them if you ever did have anything wrong. But here's your manual. I wanted to show that for y'all. I think it's always important to show the manual. It's actually pretty detailed. It's not the highest quality manual, but it has good pictures and information in it. So let me just flip there real quick. You can kind of see kind of the quality of it. So there's some good diagrams of the weapon, your specs, which we can look at here. So they also make it in 40 Smith & Wesson. There's your specs on it. safety stuff, how the trigger works, firing pin block, really detailed. So good job. And there's how you operate the lock on it if you wanted to disengage the weapon. And pretty good manual, I have to admit. They covered just about everything. It's got good pictures, like I mentioned. So I just wanted to quickly throw that in at the end of the video if you stuck around and you care about that. Anyways, y'all take care.